Okay, so just for the record, a matrix organization structure has multiple command systems. And a typical example is a university where there's a traditional command structure and, a course-based command structure. Then I talked about project-based organizations, that project teams are assembled to accomplish a specific task, and it is useful in implementing planned strategic changes. Then we move on to functional organizational structure. Functional organizational structure. So what's a functional organizational structure? That is what most of you know. That is what a lot of you guys know. It is a functional organizational structure. When we say functions, another word for function that they use in Ghana a lot is department. So decision-making authority is kind of like delegated in a very, very formal way. And responsibilities are divided between managers of departments or functions. Departments or functions. So typically in these organizations, you see an IT function, a human relations function, marketing function, etc. That's a functional organizational structure. Now, the reason why, again, I'm trying to make it as practical as possible, and I'll try my best also to infuse questions that are relevant. If I find relevant questions, I'll try to infuse them in as we go, if that's possible. So the reason I'm talking about organizational structures is the way an organization is set up can influence, how well it's run. So you might have a case where it's possible that you have, let's say, a functional organizational structure, and that might not necessarily be, the best organizational structure for the firm. Maybe it's if you recommend a more project-based structure, that would help the firm, because the firm's operation is surrounded by, accomplishing tasks. So that's how you think about it. That's how you think about it, basically. You think about the appropriateness of the structure. The appropriateness of the structure. Then you move on to divisional organizational structure. So someone asks, how is this different from functional? Functional divisions, and then the same thing, a division is more of a strategic business unit. And when we say a strategic business unit, we simply mean an oversight body or entity kind of in the organization. So, for example, in the telecommunications company I used to work, I've forgotten how it was arranged, but we had about 10 functions. But these 10 functions had, I think, 3 divisions. So my function, which was finance, along with some other functions, I think it was finance and a couple of other functions, I can't really remember now, fell under a division, or what you call a strategic business unit. So just picture it this way. A division is like an umbrella, right? It's like an umbrella, and it has functions under it, relevant functions under it. So for example, in Vodafone, there was marketing, there was commercial, and there was marketing and commercial. Clearly, these 2 functions, are related. So you can put them under a division, So functions come under a division. So division are more like an oversight body, a strategic business entity. So you can create divisions in several ways, several ways. Like you can create divisions around products, you can create divisions around based on geographical areas. You can create divisions around customers, etc. You know, so like as we see here, I said each division has its own functional departments. You know, each division has its own functional departments. So that's the way you can look at it. 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 Okay. Then you have what we call the conglomerate organizational structure. So what's a conglomerate? A conglomerate is simply, you know, a large entity that has different companies from different industries under it. Very, very key. So when you say something is a conglomerate, you know, it's a it has a very, very diverse portfolio of companies under it. Very, very diverse. You know, it's not your normal kind of one-sided industry. So what's an example of a conglomerate? A conglomerate in Ghana, maybe I'll say, maybe let's say Despite group of companies. Despite group of companies can be, like in Ghana, can be a conglomerate because it has several businesses in different industries. So for example, it's in the media, you know, it's in the media industry kind of. It has radio station, it has TV. It's also in food. It has This Way chocolate drink. It has, I think, Neat Fufu as well. And I also think they're also in real estate. I'm not too sure about it, though. But at least you have media and food, which are two different industries. Two different